What is up, guys, and welcome to episode number 2 of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Before you guys get confused, no, this is not a live commentated video. I'm just giving you guys a quick debrief on what happened in practice and back at HQ before the Spanish Grand Prix weekend. So I did all the recordings at HQ and practice, but unfortunately it took one PC crash for me to lose all those files. And now I was certain that I saved all of the files into my team files for episode 2, and one PC crashed and they're gone. Yep, and I can't recover them. There is no way I can get them back. So I'll just quickly tell you about it. So we're back at HQ. We had a aero upgrade and we had 2 chassis upgrades. They were weight reduction and weight redistribution, and one of them was a downforce upgrade. I believe it was one of them. It wasn't drag reduction because Spain isn't really a high speed track or much of a power track. So there were the 2 upgrades that I got on the car, but apparently 2 out of the 3 failed to make it on the car. But the good news is, because there's a lengthy break between Spain and Bahrain, Portimao and Imola are in between those 2, but they weren't in the game. Now, by the time this video gets uploaded, Portimao is already in the game. Now that patch 1.10 has 1.10 has been released. And yeah, so new features in patch 1.10, which includes Portimao. So that'll be in season 2, early spoiler alert. And yeah, and I'm not going to go into too much details. So yeah, those 2 upgrades failed, and we were actually able, because of the lengthy break, we were actually able to get them on the car in time for Spain. So thumbs up all the way to Spain, even though we had them fail, which means we had to spend a few extra resource points. Didn't bother me. We've still got a few left, and we've still got some money to spend on our facilities, and that is something I'm going to be looking towards in the future episodes. And yeah, so going into practice, I was hoping we could get ourselves off the bottom of the back row of the grid, and I was hoping to, it'll get us close and be more competitive in the midfield. And I think that in practice, I feel like, yeah, we're a chance here. We're a solid chance with these upgrades. They were only minor upgrades, and we're going to get to those major and ultimate upgrades further down the track and into later seasons. So I was feeling pretty good about going into this weekend, expecting hopefully a good result, hopefully close to the point, or maybe even scratch a point. Yeah, so fingers crossed we can get ourselves out of Q1, which hopefully we should. It should be either me or Christian getting into Q2, because we are above Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas. So hopefully we can get out of Q1 in this episode. Fingers crossed. Let's go to qualifying. Here we go then for the Spanish Grand Prix qualifying session. Now, as I said, I'm hoping to get out of Q1 in this session, and I think that we should be able to. I reckon this is a track where we can showcase what we've got with the 811 wing setup we are running for this weekend. And I think it's a good setup, because I've been doing, time trial laps in Spain and, every other track, just to try, find the setups for later in the season. So how we go in Q1 for our first lap in Q1, but we're not going to do anything if we bin the car like that. Now that's going to be a bit of an issue for our first lap, because with that little flick speed, it means that the rears are going to overheat. Yeah, there you go, 109 on the left rear. So that it shouldn't be too much of a problem when we get to turn 1, which is in the greens, which is good, but they are still over 100 degrees. Tried to go flatter, and we've run
we've run wide at turn 3. That's going to cost us a little bit of time. But this lap's going to cost us a fair bit of time anyway because the tyres are overheating. So what does this lap do? A 19.4. At least we get ourselves off the bottom. But we're going to do another lap to see what we can do. This section here is actually where you have to be really careful. If you're going too fast or too deep, you can get a snap of oversteer and ruin your lap. Coming to the end of this lap now, we go P19. P19 with a 4/10 improvement. But I don't know if I caught that in time, but I think we improved by barely even a 10. Maybe not even that. So, weird glitch there. We're going to go out one more time on a new set of softs for one more try. Now we've got Ocon behind us. This is not good news because if he gets past us, then that's our lap ruined. But he doesn't get past us into turn 1. Didn't quite use turn 9 like I would have wanted. Used the exit nicely. This is where we made up all the time. Through the little chicane. Nice exit, nice rotation. Through the last corner. Straighten the car. Up to the light. It is a 1 3/4 improvement. But we improved by 5/10. Another glitch. And we go P15. Looking at the mini map. We've got an Alpha coming past. And a Haas, I think. And I think that's it. I think we are into Q2 for the very first time in our career mode. And confirming, yes, P15. We are into Q2. Christian P19. So it looks like we've swapped around from in between weekends. You know, Christian was the fast car, but now I am in the fast car. So yeah, we've made all the time in the second and third sectors. Didn't quite get the run like I would have wanted out of 1 and 2 and around 3. I thought it was, you know, decent enough. Now into Q2 now. I've decided to wait till the end of the session to do the lap. That's where the track is going to add its most grippiest, and we've only got one set of softs remaining. And I didn't want to do a lap on mediums because we're not going to go anywhere anyway. And at the end of this session, we're dead last. We're dead last anyway. An 18.7. Is that faster? No, I don't think it was faster. And I think we did make a few small mistakes in that session. But for us, it's going to be P16. I don't think we'll be going up any higher with grid penalties. Now, bear in mind that we are expecting a little bit of rain towards the end of the race, as you can see there. So nice and sunny for the first half of the race. A little bit of cloud and maybe a bit of rain, which could throw a spanner into the race. I'm hoping that's not the case. But now, let's go to the race.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly, Tsunoda and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Vettel, Lance Stroll, Skip, Norris, they've taken a grid penalty, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Christian Lundgaard, Mazepin, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And don't you let me down again, Jeff. I don't know when to be having another problem like that. it's go time now for the Spanish Grand Prix. Doing another one stop today, mediums to hards. Especially when we've got no tyre wear upgrades, I think this is the strategy to use, and especially in the early seasons. 5 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we're go. Again, looks like another good start, but as you can see, the second phase just doesn't work out. We block off Russell into turn 1, but not Lando. That ridiculous speed of the McLaren. We dive Bob Vettel. Looks like we're going to hold around the outside and we get the move done. Now we've got Stroll, Alonso and Ocon, the 3 cars in front of us. And now it is a straight line into turn number 4. Braking late just to try and make up the gap. Trying to go around the outside of Stroll. Doesn't quite work out. I want to try and be aggressive as much as I can. Nearly getting into the back of Alonso. But we get the move done on Stroll regardless. So now, what the plan is, was to make up as many spots as possible. Now we're up into P12. So now the plan is to try and stay with Alonso as much as I can. But of course that Alpine is a lot more faster than our CG Motorsport car. So one of the late breakers here. And oh, we've lost the back end. And gee, we nearly collided with Stroll. Wow. That was an unexpected snap of oversteer. Gee, I did not expect that. Moving forward now, and as you can see, Alonso here has already checked out. So now there's that plan out the window. So now we're moving on to plan B, and that is to keep Stroll behind us as much as possible. But of course, we've got Lando Norris in that super fast McLaren, and he has shaped up a move on Stroll, and now he is already behind us. So now, I'm not even sure if it's even worth letting Lando go. Big slide out of oh, what do you call it, 8, 7, something like that. And Lando thought about it, and he's looks like he's rear-ended us. And in fact, he's actually come into the pit lane. So has he rear-ended us? No, there's no front wing damage. So I don't understand why you would even be coming in. And I checked to make sure that damage was on, and it was on. So I don't understand why Lando would be pitting for a new front wing. Because if he was that close behind us and 2 seconds behind in 20 seconds, then I'm not 100% sure why you would be pitting for a new front wing anyway. So we've got Leclerc and an AlphaTauri in. Leclerc on mediums, and he gets held up by Gasly, who is going on onto medium. So it confirms that those two will be doing a 2-stop. And out goes Gasly. Hopefully, can he get into some clear air? Doesn't look like it. Now we've got Stroll behind us now in the DRS. He gets up the inside, or around the outside, but we sneak it up down the inside. And I told you guys in the last video, we are not one that is going to give up this easily. And that just proves it right there. Again, moving forward another lap, we are in an Aston Martin sandwich. Vettel on the outside, Stroll on the inside, and we ate a Aston Martin sandwich, and we go up the middle, and we hold on for P8 now. We are now in the top 10 because of the other pit stops. Let's get a replay on this. I don't know how we pulled that off, you know. Oh, that is amazing. And now the two Aston Martins are side by side, battling for 9th and 10th. So now, lap 9, we're moving forward as quickly as we can. And now, we are trying to, run our own race, but because we've got the two Aston Martins and a very angry train behind us that is beginning to form, I don't like our chances of holding on to P8 any time longer. And as you can see, Stroll, ooh, a little bit close there. He actually gets the move done this time. I thought about it, but no, I decided to back out of it. So now, with Stroll past, our aim now is to try and stay as close to him as long as we can. We move on to lap 12, and we sort of to be hanging in there. Oh, nice.
Tyre condition is still looking good.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay. Now, we seem to be hanging in there with Stroll. Okay. I'm hoping that is the case. 41% on the left front. Okay, I don't know whether it's overheating or not, but anyway, moving forward. Another team radio coming.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Now, I'm actually surprised we're staying with Stroll for this period of time. As you can see, we're not too far from our pit window, and I think our pit window is now lap 14. So we are going to box this lap. We are going on to the hards. We'll be taking those to the end of the race, pushing it into the pit lane. Stroll comes in, we follow him in.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
Oh no. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me there is another issue. Oh, don't tell me. Let's not think about that now. What is Stroll going on to? He's going on to a set of hard. So that confirms he's doing a one-stop. Russell and Raikkonen in the pit lane with us. We are going into hards, 2.6 seconds, average stop. Russell and Raikkonen are both going on to hards. So that confirms us four are doing a one-stop. Now, and 2.6 seconds, that is now the barrier. Anywhere between 1.9 and 2.6 seconds, pit stop wouldn't be too bad. Now, we're going to...
It looks critical. Find somewhere to retire as soon as possible. We can't risk you carrying on with this race.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We are actually out of the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got no choice this time. We are out. There's smoke coming out of the back of our car. And we've just lost an engine. As Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh my god. That is the worst news possible. And this is actually my very first mechanical failure before doing this on the new PC. I can't believe it. I truly cannot believe it. And the team doesn't look too happy, and I know I am not happy. I can't believe it.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
I wish the same could have been said for our side of the garage with a good result. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Well done, Max. Hey, well done to the two Max for completing the podium. I'm still just devastated. I've literally got no other words to say. So, Red Bull and the Merc cover the top four. Where does our teammate finish? I wouldn't expect him to be up 5 or 6 spots. As you can see, he's not in the top 14. Russell in P14, up 2 spots. Now we're moving down finally. Christian P17 for P18. He did a one stop. I reckon the one stop was almost the right strategy. You know, if you don't want to be making an effort just for another stop, then I would totally agree. Unless, of course, there was a late race safety car. Which, unfortunately, there was no late race safety car. I wouldn't even tell if there was any at all. So, at Lando with the DNF. Why didn't he come up with a mechanical failure or whatever, unless he crashed out? He probably crashed out then, and, you know, a safety car came out then. Who knows in this crazy world? So, Christian down into P60. We're probably dead last in the standings, and that's something that, you know, I just don't want to look at. P9 in the Constructors. I don't think we'll be going anywhere anytime soon. And despite the DNF, level 2 in Driver Acclaim, and we're nearly going to get up to level 3 in the Team Acclaim, which is not too bad overall. And no damage deductions. Perfect. So, a bad weekend, but a perfect ending. Wow. Okay, we get back to HQ. Now, we've got a gearbox durability upgrade that's going on the car. Now, which parts failed in that? Control electronics. Okay, so that solves that mystery. Well, one thing I do know for sure is that we are going to be taking grid penalties for Monaco. I knew at some stage in this season we were going to take grid penalties, but I seriously do not think we'll be taking them this early. But guys, that is it for today's episode. Leave a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more F1 gaming content. Until the next one guys, I'm out of here.